Close your eyes for a moment and imagine waking up not in your room, not in your city, not even in your time. Instead, you open your eyes to the dawn of Africa. 1.8 million years ago. The air is dry, the grass tall and whispering, the horizon endless and empty. You're not who you are today. You are smaller, weaker, your hands rough, your body fragile. You are Homo habilis, an ancestor of humankind, but a creature still learning what it means to survive. The sun rises, but it does not bring safety. Each step through the savannah is a risk. The water you need waits in rivers, but those same waters hide something far deadlier. The forest edge hums with unseen eyes. Hunger gnaws at your stomach, thirst cracks your lips, and the world around you does not care if you live or die. You think you are the hunter, but here you are prey. Because in this world, crocodiles grow longer than cars, cats with sabers for teeth wait in the tall grass, and even the shadows seem to stalk you. One wrong move, one careless sip of water, and you vanish from history before it ever remembers your name. This was the world of Homo habilis, and the story of why you would not survive a single day. Step with me into East Africa nearly 2 million years ago. The land is not the lush paradise you might imagine, but a shifting world of extremes. Wide savannas stretch into the horizon, dotted with thorny acacia trees. The heat presses down like a weight. The wind carries dust across the plains, and water, the very lifeblood of survival, exists only in scattered rivers and shrinking pools. This was the home of Homo habilis, one of the earliest members of our human family. Fossils tell us they were small, standing little more than 4 feet tall, with long arms and a brain just half the size of ours. They carried simple stone tools, sharp edges chipped from river rocks, used to crack bones and scrape meat. Not hunters, but survivors on the edge of scarcity. But survival here was never simple. Every trip to drink meant walking into danger. Crocodiles, massive and cunning, waited just beneath the surface. Leopards crouched in trees, their yellow eyes fixed on anything that moved. Hyenas followed the scent of weakness. Even the ground held secrets, scorpions, snakes, hidden thorns that could turn a small wound into death. The fossil record does not speak in words, but in marks and scars. Homo habilis bones have been found with the teeth of predators carved into them. Some still carry the puncture marks of jaws far stronger than theirs. Each fossil is a whisper from the past, a reminder that life here was short and death always near. And yet against these odds they endured. But what they faced next was more terrifying than any cat or hyena. A predator so specialized, so relentless, that it hunted humans the way it hunted fish. The day begins with thirst. The sun climbs high, and the air shimmers with heat. Your mouth is dry, your skin cracked, and every step through the grass cuts like a blade. You know where water waits, but you also know what else waits there. The river is life, but it is also death. Homo habilis lived in constant tension between need and fear. The rivers drew them, just as they drew the antelope, the birds, the fish. But something larger, stronger, and infinitely more patient was always watching. Beneath the ripples, vast eyes opened. A tail shifted silently in the mud. The crocodile was waiting. This was no ordinary reptile. Fossils reveal a monster, Crocodiles anthropophagus, a killer that grew nearly 20 feet long. Its very name means man-eater. Unlike today's crocodiles, which mostly strike at fish or unwary animals, this beast had adapted for something else entirely. It hunted early humans. Our ancestors weren't just at risk near the river. They were its primary prey. Imagine it. You crouch to drink. The water is warm, muddied, but it soothes your burning throat. Then a splash. The ground shakes. Jaws wider than your body snap shut around you. In a heartbeat, you vanish beneath the surface. There is no struggle, no scream, only the river's ripples closing as if you were never there. The fossils confirm this horror. Skulls and bones of Homo habilis have been found with deep gouges from crocodile teeth. Silent testimonies that these monsters struck again and again, dragging our ancestors into the depths. Water was survival, but water was also a trap, and every sip carried a deadly gamble. But the crocodiles were not their only nightmare. The land itself was alive with killers, each waiting for their chance. Yet even in a world that hunted them at every turn, Homo Habilis did not simply surrender. Survival meant change, and change became their greatest weapon. They learned to move together, never alone. A single figure at the water's edge was an invitation to death, but a group could watch every shadow, every ripple, every sudden silence in the grass. While one drank, others stood guard, sharp stones in hand, eyes fixed on the trees and the riverbank. Trust was not optional, it was life itself. Their tools, simple as they were, began to shape their fate. Sharp flakes of stone could cut through hides, break bones for marrow, or drive away a scavenger bold enough to approach. In trembling hands, these tools became an equalizer, small pieces of human will against beasts of enormous power. Fire, once captured, was treated as treasure, carried from camp to camp. Its glow held back the darkness and the predators that prowled within it. Around the flames, bonds deepened. Food was shared, wounds were tended, and knowledge was passed on. Not through words as we know them, but through gestures, through memory, through the rhythm of survival itself. Fear taught them caution, hunger taught them persistence, and danger taught them something greater still, unity. Each life, saved by the circle, made the circle stronger. But even as they adapted, the land pressed harder. Crocodiles were not the only monsters. Above the rivers and beyond the firelight, other predators circled, waiting for their chance to strike. For Homo Habilis, the deadliest truth was this: they were not at the top of the food chain. They were the feast. The greatest predator of all was not the lion, nor the saber-toothed cat, but the river itself. In its depths lurked Crocodiles anthropophagus, a hunter unlike any other. This giant reptile was not content with fish or gazelle. It specialized in humans. Fossils tell the story. Puncture marks carved deep into leg bones, skulls crushed by teeth the size of daggers. Even in death, the evidence whispers the same terrifying truth. Early humans were its chosen prey. Imagine the suspense of every approach to water. The silence before strike. The faint ripple that betrayed nothing until it was too late. 1 second, a child kneeling to drink. The next, gone, pulled beneath the surface, vanishing without a trace. Families left staring at a river that looked calm, but hid unspeakable violence. And this raises a haunting question. Why? Why would a predator evolve to hunt us, small, fragile, unarmed creatures, when the savannah teemed with larger, slower, easier prey? Was it our size, our predictable need for water, our inexperience? Or was it something deeper, a cruel twist of nature that marked us as targets long before we learned to fight back? The fossil record gives no clear answer. Only scars, only shadows, and a mystery that still lingers in our very origins. They were hunted, devoured, erased, and yet, somehow, they endured. But what did that survival mean for the humans still to come? When we look back on those distant days, it is easy to see only fear. The river of teeth, the grass alive with hunters, the nights filled with glowing eyes. And yet, hidden inside that fear was the seed of who we are today. Homo Habilis did not rise above their world with strength. They rose with caution, with memory, with togetherness. Every predator that stalked them forced their minds to sharpen. Every loss carved into them the value of trust. To survive, they learned to move as one, to guard one another, to share what little they had. From danger grew connection. From weakness, resilience. And perhaps that is why, even now, humans gather in circles, around fires, around tables, around screens. Why we tell stories, why we pass down warnings, why we seek safety in one another. These instincts are not new. They are ancient, born in a time when survival depended on more than teeth or claws. It depended on us. So the memory of those crocodiles, of those long nights and sudden losses, is still with us. not in scars we can see, but in the way our hearts lean toward one another when the shadows grow long. And it leaves us with a question. If danger shaped us once, what dangers still shape us now? From the rivers of Africa to the cities of today, the thread of survival has never truly broken. Once our ancestors lived in fear of jaws rising from the water, of claws flashing in the dark. They were fragile, hunted, forgotten by time itself. And yet they endured. It is easy to forget how close we came to silence. Without fire, without stone, without one another, humanity might have ended there, swallowed by the river, erased by predators that never even knew our name. But endurance was written into us, a lesson carved not in books, but in blood. Survival does not always belong to the strongest, but to the ones who hold on together. Every breath we take, every story we tell, is an echo of that beginning. We are here not because the world was kind, but because our ancestors refused to vanish. And still, the mystery remains. Why did they endure when so many others did not? Was it chance or something greater, hidden in the rhythm of life itself? Perhaps the truth is this. We are all children of survival. And like the fire our ancestors carried through the dark, the story of Homo Habilis still glows faintly within us, reminding us that even in the harshest of worlds, life finds a way to endure.